Good evening, my dear brothers, sisters, friends. Welcome to our weekly Friday meditation session. Today is June the 12th, 2015. How are you this evening? I hope that you enjoy the time that we practiced sitting meditation together and also walking meditation. We try our best to come on Fridays so we can practice sitting together and walking together in mindfulness. Every day we are so busy with many things according to our schedule. And Friday, when we come to practice, we learn to slow down. We learn to walk slowly. We learn to enjoy our breaths. Actually, we are breathing all the time. But because of our busy schedule, and sometimes we forgot that we are breathing. And sometimes because of the busy schedule, we make our breath abnormal, unbalanced. And sometimes we are very tired. And sometimes we have short of breath because of too much things happen around, and we have to rush in order to catch up everything on time. After we sitting, walking, and one of the another thing on Friday is listening. When you listen to the Dharma talk, you also remind yourself that you are practicing listening meditation. Because when you listen carefully, wholeheartedly, it's called meditation. Sometimes Thầy speak very hard to understand, or something we already know, but we still learn to sit there attentively to listen. In order to train ourselves how to sit attentively, solidity, to listen to something that somebody tried to share. And this is the practice. If you learn to practice listening regularly on Fridays, is this a chance for you to sit meditation with listening, and then you can apply this in your daily work. In our daily communication, either we talk or either we listen. So if we need to talk, we need to talk in meditation. It's called the art of talking. When we listen, it is also the art of listening. Because we learn how to listen to something not only we like, not something we enjoy, but sometimes we fall in the case, the situation that we have to sit there and listen to somebody's sharing. Sometimes it's totally, we disagree. But instead of fight back, react back, we learn to listen. Learn to sit and allow that person to relieve their suffering. So when you are listening on Friday like this, sometimes you are compassionate for Thầy. You sit there so you can help Thầy, because Thầy want to talk. And then you sit there in order to support for Thầy. You sit there in order to support for the community, the Sangha. The art of talking, the art of listening. We listen with our compassionate. So the compassionate, the loving kindness are the foundation for all your daily working. If you want to cook, you must cook with your loving kindness. If you want to do something for someone, and the first quality, the first ingredient for your work is your loving kindness. Sometimes you know that you are unable to do anything for that person. But in that time, in that situation, in that case, that person is looking for you, and he or she hope that you're able to listen to them. If not, they are not looking for you. Once they are looking for you to share, that means they have thought of you. And you should be happy instead of angry. Why me? Why you have to looking for me and talk with me this? Then why don't you think that? Because you are something in that person's heart. That's why when they are in suffering, they are looking for you right away. Then you should be happy, and you know that you are important. When that person is not happy, when that person is not well, they are looking for you, and you know you are important. You are something in their heart. You are very meaningful. Sometimes you just sit there. You know you cannot help, you cannot relieve, you cannot make the suffering out of that person. You think that, but actually when you listen, you already reduce the percentage of suffering in that person. Because that person need to speak up, need to dump out the garbage. The more I practice Buddhism, the more I do the community work, and I realize one thing very miracle and very basic but very important. What is that? Loving kindness, compassionate. You can imagine if we do something for others without compassionate, we never do wholeheartedly. We never do with happiness. You will say, I have to do. But if you do with your loving kindness, you will say, I like to do. I want to do. If the mother loves their kids, the mother will do anything for their child. And if we have loving kindness for people around us, we can do anything for them. No complaint. Because we know that we're still healthy to do something for others. That's a gift. The gift that we're still healthy to do things for others. Sometimes we are so sick. We want to do, but we really have no energy. So what is the gift of ourselves? That is the health. And what is the gift that we cultivate every day? Loving kindness. If we have no loving kindness, we are unable to finish anything. We are unable to success as a human's life. Even when we are practicing, we also not only practicing for ourselves, but we are practicing for our loved one also. When you have a stomach ache, and you know that you should send your love to your stomach, how? Do not eat while you are having stomach ache. You must let your stomach rest. Drinking hot water, warm water, and rest. Because when you eat too much, you make your stomach working. And when the stomach is not well, and they have to take the food and digest the food, and then you think the more you eat, the more you gain the health, but actually not. When your eyes tired, because you are working in front of the computer too much, you know that. Then how to cultivate loving kindness for yourself? Go to bed, lie down, close your eyes. Use a small towel. Soak the towel with hot water and dry the towel and steam and relax the muscle for your eyes. And then your eyes can relax and rest. You can see that loving kindness can not only doing things for others, but if we reflect deeply into our body, then we know that our body also needs love from us too. Our eyes working for us never complain. And we never know how to learn to send the love to our eyes. Then sometimes we need to close the eyes and rest. Make our eyes have time to relax. When you have difficulty to sleep, do not take sleeping pills. Because when you take too much of that kind of pills, it will make your head sleep. But actually you do not sleep with peace because of medication. Then what can we learn from? Relax your whole body on mat. And you feel that you are a piece of cloud floating. Now you breathe deeply and slowly to send your loving kindness, your happiness to each of your body parts. And then you sleep easily. Meditation. Remember, meditation is not only when you sit. Meditation when you sleep, when you walk. Like when you practice a slow walk after sitting. Every single step you make, you know that in this moment, I am sending love to my feet. I'm sending love to my steps. I step for my father, my mother, etc. And then you gain back your energy. Sometimes people call me very late at night, around 3 or 4 in the morning, because their loved one passed away in the hospital. And then, usually that is the good time to sleep, especially in the winter time. But how come I can wake up, start my car, and then I can drive to the hospital? Because I know that in this moment I only spend 1, 2, 3 hours. I sacrifice a few hours to sleep, but I'm able to relieve the suffer of this family in this very important moment. And then your tiredness gone to somewhere, because you know how to put the positive meditation in your difficulty, in your negatives. So what is the purpose of listening to the Dharma talk? Because we learn the Dharma. What is Dharma? Dharma means something that able to help you to reflect and bring you to the best, to the light, and something that able to enlighten you. You pass by, sometimes you are in a rush, but you want to pass the red light. Suddenly we met the whole row of vehicles that pass by the red light because they have funeral, and they have the right to pass all the lights. And we will, the first minute we will say, if I'm early a little bit, then I will, I'm not too late. And then you can reflect, wow, in front of me is a funeral. And let's suppose if I'm in a rush, I may cause accident. And then, why don't I stop for a while and let these people go? During the negative, the angry moments, you know how to meditate again, reflecting. The Dharma is there. Dharma means something able to enlighten you. One day you learn that we are not well. Our physical body is not well. Instead of crying and suffering, and we can think, according to my age, I have a minor sickness. That is something normal. And I still can realize that even I'm sick, but I'm lucky. Because I still have doctors and treatments in this kind of society, in this kind of country. If I was in the poor country, I never have treatment like this. And even you are not well like a healthy person, but compared to the one who is more sick, we still better. We still better. And what is that called? Dharma. In that moment, you listen to the Dharma. Listen means we reflect and we can see, we can realize the truth. Sometimes we listen to the sound. Like you are sitting here and Thầy try to share with you something according to the practice. You just sit there and you listen. In this case, you listen to the sound, but you do not listen to the talk. The Dharma, we have different kind of listen. Sometimes we only listen to the sound, but we don't receive the message. Is that true? And sometimes people look at us and say, what are you doing? I am sitting meditation. But actually you are only sitting, but you are not meditate. So two things. Sitting, meditation. Sometimes we only have the form of sitting. But we sit there, but our mind is somewhere else. Then we are not meditate. So sitting is your physical body. Meditate is your mind. In this case, your mind and your body bring to one place. It's called sitting meditation. Otherwise, only sitting but no meditate. Sometimes we still eating but not meditation because we eat with television. We eat with our iPhone. We read the chat. We read a message and we send back the message. We eat with the newspaper. We eat of conversation, but that never bring any healthy. So the purpose, the practice is stop wandering, bring ourselves to the present moment. In Buddhist term, we have the word called Đถี่. What does this mean? When you're able to sit still and listen carefully to something, it's called Đถี่. Carefully listen. Sometimes you listen to someone, even they don't speak up into words. But by looking at them, you know they are not well. You try to support them by your silence. If we love each other, if we stay in the same family, we must learn this kind of listening in order to help our loved one. Sometimes they fall in the situation. They really have a lot of things inside of them. But maybe they're not ready to share. Or it's quite not the time yet. Or sometimes they don't know how to put things together yet. But many things heavy them. And if we are the real practitioner, we can see it. And we try to help our family members by keep silence but gently support them. Sometimes ourselves is the same. We don't want to say anything. But the silence will heal us. The quiet will heal us. The quiet will allow us to slowly heal. Because sometimes we have the wound during our daily life. But this wound cannot do anything other than just let time and quiet time to heal. I work with the community a lot. Lot of members that I knew. I know they have lot of problems, but they did not share, and I won't ask. But I gently, indirectly support them during my Dharma talk. During my Dharma talk, I will say something that able to send them the message, and they can take it and healing for themselves. When you come to the chanting session, and we will always chant a very important sutra in the Mahayana tradition, and that is called the Prajna Paramita Sutra. The short way to call this sutra is the Heart Sutra. Prajna in Buddhism means wisdom, insight. But the wisdom or this insight is not according to the knowledge. It's according to your practice, your reflecting. If you have no reflecting and practice, you are unable to achieve this kind of prajna. Prajna is prajna. You cannot explain. You cannot using any other words to describe. But because you want people to have an idea what is prajna mean. And temporarily we have to use the word wisdom, insight, in order to describe, to explain the prajna. But actually still not yet. Because anything still combined, composed as the word, as the explanation, is not prajna yet. But temporary, to help other people to understand, we have to use something to describe. And this is what we call prajna as a text. You see the book explaining about the prajna. So that is the text of prajna. But this text will help us to have a gentle map, the sketch, to help us to reflect. It's like when you want to build a house, before the architect will draw you the official one with the code. You will give them your idea. You use your pen and piece of paper. Hey, this is how I want my house. So that is the sketch. And even the architect have complete the official blueprint. Still not yet the house. It's only the blueprint. When you can see all details of your house, do not misunderstanding. This is my house, or this is the house. Unless you use this to build a house. And the house is something you want to see. But without this blueprint, this house will never happen. Do you see what I mean? Same thing. When we stand up and we say, you know, peace is something like when you really calm inside. All of that kind of explanation still cannot describe what is peace. Unless someone who come here to sit, relax, enjoy. Sunshine, I can see the wind blow, I can see the green, the environment so fresh, so nice, and automatically you gain that kind of feeling, experience. Now I know what is peace. In many years I read a lot of books explaining about peace. But remember, that is only peace as the text. Now you need to use the text to reflect in order to see the truth of the peace. So we have three different kinds of prajna. Prajna as a text, prajna as the reflecting, and prajna as your experience. Do not think that when you come to the temple, a practice center, in order to listen to the Dharma. But actually the Dharma is everywhere. When you see the falling of the yellow leaves, it's also giving you a Dharma talk. A month ago, still green. Now it's turned yellow and fell down. I learned the lesson of impermanent. But I also can learn something deeper. The falling leaves will become compost and nourish for the tree, and I can see that these yellow leaves manifest in the next spring. And I can see that the lifespan of this leaf, no death, no birth, is only manifestation into another form. When you walk out, you see the cloud. And then the next day, the cloud fall down as rain. When it's in the form of that, you call cloud. But when it's fall down as water, you call rain. When it fell down at the pond, you call water. And this water into the cup, you call tea. Into something black with milk, you call coffee. Into the pot with a little bit salty, a little bit sweet, you call soup. But actually it's still water. So you can see the cloud never die, just change the form. And that is the seal of prajna, of insight. When you can see things with your insight, what happened? You redo your suffering. And you liberate yourself with all kind of attachment. How come now that person turned around and gossiping about me? You suffer. But after you can see things by your prajna, of course, now he have a different view about me. He is no longer feel comfortable with me. He need to express his uncomfortable. That's all. When people love us, they will tell something else. When they are no longer love us, they will say something else. And because I can understand this is the facts of life, then nothing can suffering me anymore. Even myself, I also change my mind all the time. That I cannot expect people to keep the way they think forever. Prajna, Dharma right away. So Dharma is something able to enlighten us. So when you learn Dharma, Make sure you know that Dharma will help you to get rid of your suffering, overcome your suffering, not make you suffering. If you attach, this is Buddha's teaching, nothing can change, then this teaching will suffer you. You know, the Buddha's teaching is the medication. If you take the right dose, it's help. If you took the wrong dose, it's make you more sick. And sometimes you are not physical sick, but you are Dharma sick, Buddhism sick. You're sick with what you believe, with what you trust, but you have no reflecting. In order to cultivate our insight and wisdom, we must listen to the Dharma. But the listening is not stop right there, but you need to take what you listen to reflect. It's like when we were small, as a kid, and we went to our teacher and we complained about our friend. And if the teacher is calm and wise, the teacher will listen to us, one part. But the teacher also will call that friend. The teacher will try to listen to our enemy. So the teacher will hear both. And the teacher will have reflecting and the conclusion and the solution to help for both. Practicing Buddhism is the same. We need to listen. Without listening to the Dharma, we will know nothing. And because we know nothing, then the way we live we're still living. But this time, we just live according to our habit. But no transformation, no reflecting, no practice. If you come to the cooking, you know you have an idea how to cook. By learning, your cooking is still much better than you don't know how to cook, but you just put everything at once, then your cooking is still cooked. But it's not called the dish that you used to call or you want. We're still talking, we're still listening, we're still sharing, we're still doing things, but with Dharma, our listening will be more carefully. With Dharma, our talking will be more mindful. Dharma means something able to enlighten us, help us to get rid of our suffering and cultivate peace and happiness. And that is why Dharma is important. And that is why we are coming to taking refuge in the Dharma. We are taking refuge in the Buddha because the Buddha is the teacher who already practiced enlightenment, and now he shows us the way. So we respect and take refuge in the Buddha as a teacher. But at the same time, we are also taking refuge into ourselves because we are able to do the same as the Buddha. So the Buddha, a historical Buddha, and the Buddha within us, the capacity to live mindfully. And you want to be the Buddha, we must have the way how to become the Buddha. Sometimes we're angry and we'll say, I don't care, this is who am I? This is my way. Too bad if you don't want it. If we keep the way to say that, it's fine. But you know, for the whole life, we have no friend, no learning, no reflecting, no transformation, and we are like that. It's just like that. When you buy something brand new, they used to have a piece of plastic cover. But if you take out of that piece of plastic, you will see the beautiful shining behind that piece of plastic. Our practice is that we need to take that piece of plastic out in order to see and to enjoy. When you buy a new lamp, why you have to spend money and keep everything like that? Have you ever seen people like that? We're willing to buy just the name, the brand name, but everything cover. Because we are afraid that one will be get old or scratch. But we know it's only material. Vietnamese people used to say, one of your lifetime will be changed 3 lifetime of the lamp. So you live for 100 years, but can you guarantee this life will stay with you for 100 years? Now they do everything with limited. It's 5 years guarantee. Okay? If on the 5th year is broken, you bring over, it's no more guarantee. They already set up. Do you remember that one day I gave you an example about the grain of wheat? When it's still, the wheat with the shell, it's called the wheat. But if you take off the wheat out, it's called the rice. If it still have the yellow shell cover, it cannot call the rice, it's called the wheat. After you took off that shell, yellow shell, we call the rice. And when it's not cooked, it's called the raw rice. But when it's cooked, it's called the steamed rice. If we have no change, we're just like that. We're so proud. I am like that. I don't care what you think about me. It's fine, but you're just you. But if you practice, you transform what is called you. We call you Buddha. So who is Buddha? A human, like us. But how come we call that person Buddha? Because that person have took off the piece of plastic. Sometimes the proud and the pride, the proud and the pride is thin like a piece of plastic. And we're willing to let that kind of cover. We still use, but no quality. When you buy an alarm clock or anything that uses battery, you open the lid before you put on your new battery. In that little hole there, they have a piece of plastic or piece of paper inside there. If you keep that and you plug in the battery, never work. You must take off that piece, very tiny piece of plastic, in order to make your machine, your alarm clock, whatever, working. Even you put on the brand new battery. Sometimes things already set up very well, but just very tiny plug. It still cannot work. And you think you have done everything in order and correct. You just focus to the major point, but there is a very tiny mini point there. Life is like that. Sometimes everything look good, but how come still not operate? Just because you forgot to turn this on, to take this off, a piece of plastic cover. So what is Buddhism help us? To see the whole, not to see half. If you see half, it's still fine, but you only can speak half. And you're happy with half. But if you can see the whole, you can speak the truth. Nothing wrong, but not yet complete. When I turned 40, and every night I realized my physical body is not the same as before. And I know that every single pain I have is the sound of the bell. So I will never misunderstand about or forget about the age, the health that I'm having now. Mindfulness will help us. When we comb our hair and we see a gray hair instead of suffering, then we will say, wow, this is another letter. We're receiving letters. Often, when our legs is not too healthy, it's one kind of letter. Hey, you old, eh? When we cannot chew something hard like when we are young, our teeth is a little bit weak, another letter. Until one day we receive the most important letter. You have to go. So, prajna means you can see things around you and then you can reflect. So you see things around, it's called a text. Prajna as text, as books, as scripture. Now you can reflect. That is called prajna as meditation. Until when things come, you still find. It's called you are attaining the prajna. So if you look back the prajna paramita, the last sentence, this is the unequal mantra. The mantra that nothing can compare to this mantra. What is this mantra? Gate, gate, paragate. Try to overcome. One day you arrive to the destination, to the shore. You're so happy, you say, bravo, Shravha, I am there. I still drinking, I still facing with things, but now I can see the truth of that. Nothing can affect. It shake, but it does crack. In the past, when things come, it shake, I make it crack. When that person get angry, I angry back. That's why the communication between me and that person still start to split. But now with my practice, that person against me, I try to stay still and wait until that person comes so I can talk. I will never put in my hand to make the crack. Before I practice, I was like that. You treat me that, I will treat you back. That's why I never solve any problems. I want to solve, but somehow, with my forgetfulness, I just make the hole between me and that person more and more. But with the practice, I'm shaking, but I'm not breaking. I surprised, I shocked, but I stopped on time. My hot temper come up there, here. But I know, meditate here, that's why I make it down. Before, I just make it come up to my head. And when it's come to here, then everything cover. I cannot embrace anything else. I just explode. And that person is a bomb. I am also a bomb. So we just suffering each other. And that's why I cannot become a Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva means a being that understanding the suffering of others. And that person try to help. So that's why each of the Bodhisattva, they're using their mudra, their hands. And what are the significance on their hands? Symbolize for concentration. You see all the Buddhas with the hands in many different ways. It's all symbol for concentration. Because when you concentrate, you will try to solid yourself. It's like somebody else try to hit you and you sit like this and you try. When you put your hand like this, it's a mudra, the seal of humble. You try to against me, but I will try to be humble. You never say hello to me, but my practice is join my hands and bow to you. I have the mudra of concentration, of humble. You try to explode in order to let me know that you are angry. I know. Then I will have my mudra sitting still and stay calm while you explode. So when you cross your legs, it's a mudra. Crossing your legs, sit still on the cushion is a kind of mudra to inform I'm ready to meditate. You're smiling, also a mudra to allow people know that you are at peace. Do you remember 3 prajna? Prajna as a book, prajna as a meditation, and prajna as the living, the experience. When people give you a text, a book, this is contain all the truth. But remember, this book is not the truth. It's only contain the truth to help you to read, to reflect. But you need to reflect in order to achieve what is said in here. When you have a book, doesn't mean you are there. Like when you have a map, doesn't mean you arrive to the destination. You have the map, you must read the map before you go. And then when you arrive to the place where you want to go, you are to the shore of the prajna. So that means every Friday when you come here, you are sitting meditation, you are walking meditation, and now you are practicing listening to the Dharma in meditation. Thai sharing is only Dharma in words. You take what I share, you reflect, you practice. So 3 steps. First, we must learn. Second step, we think. Third step, we do it. And the more we do, the more we practice, the more we attain the wisdom, the insight. No one can give us. Money cannot buy this. It's only according to what we practice. And thank you for your loving kindness. Every Friday you try your best to sit still and practicing your listening meditation. You are helping Thầy to improve. You are helping your patience to improve. Because we are unable to have much patience, we are much impatient. When you get married, you must have a wedding ring to put in your finger. So every time you're angry, you look at your ring. Hey, this is the ring of patience. The monk doesn't have the ring, but the monk has this robe with the color of brown. Why brown? Brown means the earth, and earth can take anything, even dirty or clean. So the monk doesn't have a ring, but the monk have a robe. Everything starts from R. A ring or robe. So when the monk almost exploded and got into the fire, the monk looked back, hey, I'm wearing brown. People love brownie. So I must be a good brownie, a tasty brownie. A good brownie is not only brown, but also taste. You is already brown, but now according to the taste. Sometimes the soup look good. Remember, look good doesn't mean taste good. So sometimes we must be careful about the words. Hey, you look good. That dish look good. But the most important is that taste good. So the more I practice and learning the teachings of the Buddha, the more I appreciate the wisdom of the Buddha, the insight of the Buddha. The one who experience. So what is the quality of the Buddha? Experience different tastes of life and can able to overcome all different tastes of life. Last time I shared with you the qualities of the Buddha. The Buddha able to understand everything and able to overcome everything. The Buddha is the one who able to explain everything. And how that person can explain? Because he have lived with that. So the Dharma is not something you describe, but you must come and see. When you hear people talking about West Edmonton Mall, you only have the idea of West Edmonton Mall, unless you arrive there. But remember, when you stand in front of West Edmonton Mall, doesn't mean you know West Edmonton Mall. You must walk into West Edmonton Mall. Some people, they just arrive to the gate of the temple, but they are not yet walking inside of the temple. They are just standing in front of the gate. They can describe how is temple, how is the practice. But when you touch them, no practice. So we must be careful about this. We must learn to listen. We must learn to reflecting and practice. Only the practice able to bring us out of the shore of suffering, out of the sea, the ocean of suffering. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your practice. I hope that you do enjoy your night. And tomorrow we will have a mindfulness day from 9 to 5. So please take your time. You can stop by any time during the day to practice with us according to your schedule, your free schedule.